You're gonna need it. So I'm slightly in a ranty mood today. All right, we're gonna find a shovel because we're gonna try to dig up sweet potatoes. This is from one of the slips that we planted. So we got these, I don't know. Okay, we're coming in here because I want to talk, but the wind is too crazy. We pulled some sweet potatoes. They're a little bit small, smaller than last year, and I think that's because the frost has come 3 weeks early this year. I might leave them in until our hard freeze in a couple days and just see if they can get a little bit bigger before I pull them. But either way, we're probably just gonna end up with slightly less large sweet potatoes, which is fine. I'm trying not to come at this from a ranty position. I don't want to be a ranty person, but I feel really ranty. There are a lot of people out there who are worried about food security, which I understand, or looking to lower their food bills, what have you. And some people have been asking the question, hey, I live in an apartment or in a small area. I don't have a big area to garden. A lot of them are in apartments. How can I grow enough food to survive? Like, how can I be self-sufficient in an apartment? And I will tell you right now, you can't. You can't. You can't. You cannot. And there's a lot of people online who lie and tell you that you can, and you can't. You can't. And I feel really bad when I say that because someone in an apartment is going to be like, that's not what I'm trying to do. But I don't think we should lie to people. Like, you should still garden. Garden has a ton of benefits. Even if you're just growing like inside plants on your windowsill or whatever. Like, it's good for you. It makes you happy. It's a skill. There's a lot of good benefits to that. But when I see people being like, well, you can grow microgreens. Yeah, that'll give you vitamins. I'm like, have you ever tried living off microgreens? Have you tried that? And how about instead of eating this week, you just eat microgreens? The microgreens that you grow on your windowsill. Why don't you do that and see how far you can come and how well you survive? And as for people who have gardens, so this isn't just people in apartments who don't know. These are people who have gardens. I was guilty of this. Me. So I am not like, I'm preaching knowing that I did the same thing. I have had a garden for many years. I gardened and I always thought, well, if anything bad happens, we'll just like live off the garden. Oh yeah, you want to come over? You can come over. We'll just live off the garden. Yeah. I made a video of what I did in the spring where I lived off the garden for a week. I couldn't even make it a single week and I was so hungry and it went so badly because I had no idea what it meant to grow food to be self-sufficient, to grow food for yourself, not even to be self-sufficient, but just to grow enough food for yourself to eat. It was terrible. And now I know. I learned from that you need to grow potatoes, regular potatoes, sweet potatoes. You need to grow nutrient-dense food like that, okay? Do you like eating bread? You better grow some corn or some wheat. Do you know how much room that takes up? Pasta, same thing, all of that. And then storing, and you need to can stuff. So I've heard also people who said like, yeah, gardening's great. Yeah, no problem. I had 2 raised beds this year and grew more vegetables than we could eat. I had to give them away. And I'm like, whoa. You grew more vegetables than you chose to eat fresh. That's what that means. You did not grow more vegetables than you could eat. Certainly not in a year's worth on 2 raised beds. That's impossible. It's not going to happen. Okay? You don't have 2 raised beds and grow enough food for an entire year. Did you can up your food? Did you dehydrate it? Did you save any of the food? Did you eat any outside food? Did you still go to the supermarket? When people grow, once again, I did the same thing. When you grow like 2 tomato plants and then you have tomatoes and then you're like, oh yeah, I grow my own vegetables. No, you grew some tomatoes. You're not going to live off of that. Why am I so ranty about this? Because I feel like people are just like lying to people. And really, I actually have thought of saying this before, and I didn't because I was like, what's the harm? What's the harm in the lie? If you're like stuck in an apartment and the apocalypse really happens, you're gonna find out that the microgreens aren't enough. Like why not let people just live in the lie? It's a comfortable lie. You have a little tiny backyard 2 raised bed garden and you think you're gonna survive the apocalypse on that? Why should I burst that bubble? But then I'm like, because Maybe you're like me and you had a garden and you had the possibility of expanding and you had the possibility of becoming self-sufficient, which we are not yet at all. This has opened my eyes to how far we are from being self-sufficient. And maybe you're not pushing yourself to do any of that because you're living in that lie. And it's not even a lie because you're lying to yourself. You just don't know. You just don't know. You just assume. You don't realize how much you're eating not from your garden, not from your land. So I did post up a video of my pantry, my current pantry, what it looks like right now. And most people who look at it, they pretty much got it. I guess they homestead and they know. But I still get comments from people who don't get it. And they'll say like, oh, well, that food, it's going to go bad. The food's not going to go bad. That food is not even a year's worth of food. We're going to eat all of it before the end of this year. All of it will be gone before the end of this year. It can't go bad. We're going to eat it. That was, I think, what pushed me to actually try to grow more food was watching a video on YouTube of someone who had a huge pantry of home canned food. So much. And they said, you know what? We get asked a lot. What are you going to do with all this food? And they say, and we have to tell people, we're going to eat it. We eat it. You don't realize how much food you eat because you don't have it all put out in front of you. You don't have all the food you ate an entire year stacked in your basement at one time. If you did, you'd realize how much food it is. It is a lot of food. So all the food I have, it'll be gone before the end of the year. Hopefully, if I'm doing my job right, I'll keep rotating and get more in. But it's a lot. And it can't be grown in an apartment. And people who are like, you just need some hydroponic system, they're just trying to sell you a hydroponic system. You cannot grow a year's worth of food in an apartment. Full stop, period, end of sentence. You can't. Go ask people who have grown a year's worth of food. They will tell you. This is totally ranty and not very nice. I'm not trying to be not nice. It upsets me when people go out and say with confidence that you can grow, more food than you'll ever need in like a pot. You can't. And you'll realize how fragile the food system is when you realize that most people, probably 99% of people, I don't even know, almost all the people don't grow their own food. They don't. I don't grow all my own food. Not even close. So it's interesting and slightly frightening sometimes. That's my rant for today. I didn't want to be ranty. I just don't want you to be lied to. And if you want to live in the comfortable lie, go ahead. But if you don't, it's a lot of work to grow food. I'm finding that out. To grow enough food for your entire family for an entire year after year, is a lot of work. And it takes a good amount of land. Buy food for yourself and keep food for yourself. Because if your thoughts are, if something goes wrong, I'll just live off my garden, or I'll start container gardening on my porch, you're going to be in for a rough ride. Enjoy your coffee. Sorry for being so ranty. I wasn't trying to. I know you commiserate. I know you understand. It's fine. Catch you later.